Hey Diva and anyone else who needs to access this video. So I totally forgot to hit the record button or to set it up to record during class today. So notes will be saved online, or they already are. Actually, Naomi already put them up. And so in our notes today, we went to our homework spiral and did 3 multiple choice questions regarding section 6.4 and before. Using your calculator for sure, using your calculator, but you guys can go ahead and whoever's checking this can go look at the questions, and sadly it's going to have the work on there too. Sorry about that. We can go check out what we did in the back of our homework spiral, and then we went ahead and graded homework 6.3 and 6.4. So Naomi, I'm going to have you just scroll slowly to get all of the answers. You can pause, every time you can go down to F. There we go. So anyone watching the video, just pause whatever you need to see. So pause for a second, Naomi, on number 12. And then on number 12, really quickly, we did point out right here. Oh, not down there. We pointed out on this one really quickly that you did need to look in the interval. That's why it was only positive root 3 instead of the other. But I think I also just switched the orientation of that, but that's okay. Then you can go down to 16 and 22. Pause for just a second. I think Riley asked a question. No, Maggie asked a question on number 16. So if you got stuck on that one at all, you can reach out to her as far as, it was geometry. A lot of this is geometry. Number 22 was just using an antiderivative. We can keep going. Watch out for unit circle stuff. Is there anything weird? I think we went over a question on number 48. Yeah, Sally asked a question on number 48. I think I still have the book open. I can go peek at that really fast. But otherwise, then we moved on past number 50 and keep going. I think that was the last even for 6.3. There we go. Then we went to, you can keep going to 6.4 because we graded that one too. So then 6.4, there you go, pause right there. I pointed out on number 28 the rule. That's one that you guys didn't like from last year. Integral of b to the u is 1 over ln of b times b to the u. Daniel asked a question on number 40, and he's not as used to my terminology as you guys are. So I explained it in a little more depth, but long story short, on number 40, it's hard, impossible to solve unless you do Hart method. Split up that division of square root of 2 and make it 1 over the square root of u, and then square root of u over the square root of u. Go ahead and, and I just did something funny. I don't know what I did, but split up that division and then everything is way more possible. Okay, keep going, Naomi. Maggie got stuck on number 44 just a little bit because the directions were weird. It says total area, and so if you're just thinking area as in like, hey, find the integral, they cancel out. It's 0, but our book, when it says total area, means area between. So as we scroll down just a little bit, at the bottom you'll notice that it's not 0, it's absolute value. Area between is absolute value. So it's 4 plus 4 is 8, not 0. Sorry, the directions are weird. AP guys say area between, not total area. We can keep going. That one was pretty straightforward. Know your unit circle. Nint, remember, is function integrate, although the kids love Nint, but that's okay. And then 58 had a lot of stuff going on. It was like the one that we started in class where you're given the graph of a function's integrand. It's when they make an accumulator function, the beginning, or the function that you're dealing with. You just have to be super careful. But look at our notes if you need pointers as far as what to be considering, what to be thinking. Riley asked a question on letter C, but I reminded her it's just area under the graph that you're looking at. And so just use geometry because it must be a geometric figure. Triangle from this, but I don't know. F and G, you guys can check that out. Is that the last one? Oh yeah, then we're done. So then that one that Sally asked was kind of tricky. Oh, is the book still open? Maybe not. I think it was on section 6.3 number 48. Let me go back. Is it 48? It was that weird. Yeah, it must be 6.348. Can you scroll up and find 48 on 6.3? Yeah, that one. D, there's no rule for the negation of the balance. That's super confusing unless you're actually able to see it. So we're going to come up here if it lets us. No, it's still thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. This happened in class too. It's okay. The kids got to talk about something random. I forget what it was. Oh, tennis. Hannah and her tennis match. They were going off a bit. Okay. Can you go to page 310, I think? Oh, nope, that was section 6.4. Page, it's going to have to think, 2, we can peek at it, right? Why don't you go look up for 6.3. What was it? There it is, page 298. There you go. And Firefox. Got it. Oh, it's still thinking. There we go. PSD, but we had fun talking about your mom calling into the office and their reaction. But we missed you today. Okay, number 48. Let's go find it real fast. Oh, it doesn't like this page. Long story short about 48 while we're getting there is that it was a multiple choice question asking which of the following do not have to be true. Don't have to be true, aren't necessarily fully true. And so as you look at, thanks Naomi, as you look at each of these different options without me going necessarily through each and every one, A and B and C and E are all guaranteed properties, whether the bounds are switching or whether it's the additivity principle. All of those are guaranteed, but letter D is the weird one. What I ended up doing on that one was actually taking what Justin was talking about yesterday as far as his little number line and how he thinks about doing this. Because this starts at 2, goes to 5, then goes to 8. You have like areas popping up. This one ends up having a lot more area popping up. This one has a lot less. And we don't know if it's always above. It could be a little bit above, a little bit below. But somehow the total area between 2 and 5 is 12, and the total area between 5 and 8 is 4. But letter D has us all of a sudden looking somewhere else entirely, like looking all the way down the line, way down there at -5 and -8. And the only way that we can tell, and that's not even like a U-bound sort of thing. Like there is no U. The argument's not any different. This function hasn't gotten shifted at all. So it's the original function, and it's saying like, oh, you should know what's going on at -5 and -8. I mentioned the only way that that can happen is if we know something about symmetry. Then, like if we knew even or odd, we could know what's going on here and then make a conclusion. But since we don't know even or odd, we have no clue what's going on over there. So therefore, that does not necessarily, it probably isn't true, and even more than that, it doesn't have to be true. So that's why that's the final answer. Okay, sorry D, but after that we went ahead and went to notes. The notes are saved online. The last section of chapter 6 is trapezoidal rule. Naomi, you can go ahead and close out of like the BC stuff now. Trapezoidal rule, it wasn't that many pages of notes. I mentioned that there is a snazzy shortcut rule, but it only works with equally spaced intervals. Otherwise, like the AP guys love to throw tables at us that aren't equally spaced. So that's why I just have you guys memorize the area of a trapezoid, 1/2 base times height 1 plus height 2. And so we're going to go ahead and save this video, put it online. You can check out the notes from someone else or just the class notes in your shared folder. So we'll see you soon. Bye.